EcoFlight. I'm the founder and chief pilot.
I'm Rebecca Ramsey, the executive director of Swan Valley Connections.
My name is Thompson Smith. I'm a historian and geographer for a department of the Salish and Kootenai tribes called the Salish Country Culture Committee.
My name is Shelley Fayette. I serve as chairwoman of the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes. I'm Bitterroot Salish, so these are our Aboriginal territories I've not seen from above.
My name is Amy Prover, and I'm the state director for the Nature Conservancy here in Montana.
Our goal here today is to get these incredible partners together with the Nature Conservancy and Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes. Really check out the connectivity of this landscape and to talk about the conservation that has been done here. Our watershed boundary really starts just outside of Seeley Lake at the Beaver Creek Divide, and the headwaters come out of Gray Wolf Lake within the Mission Mountain Wilderness, and that's what creates the Swan River. And then it flows into Swan Lake and out of Swan Lake back into the Swan River and then into the Flathead.
So that's the headwaters of all this water is going this way.
Yes. So Swan Valley Connections has called out in our values that we value Indigenous perspectives, and we are striving to incorporate traditional ecological knowledge into all of our work. All of our lands had people on them long before us. It's our duty to come together and work with those Indigenous peoples to do the best that we can on the land for the generations beyond us.
When the elders speak about the traditional place names and the coyote stories, especially the names that are connected to the creation stories, I've always been struck that it reflects an almost aerial perspective on the land. The people who for thousands of years lived here by foot, not even horseback until after 1700. And it makes you think about the spiritual leaders that had the capacity for that aerial perspective. You know, this is so far beyond going on Google Earth or Google Maps or anything like that.
This truly is such a wild, wondrous place with so much connectivity that we really feel like it's so important to bring attention to and to try to preserve. And our goal is to really increase the capacity of the resources themselves to remain healthy and resilient. Increase the capacity of the humans that impact them by providing educational opportunities for people of all ages. And to increase the capacity of the government agencies that manage these lands. We've been doing rare carnivore monitoring on this landscape to show the connectivity of those rare forest carnivores. You know, lynx are really a canary in the coal mines, different than the adaptability of bears, which gets a lot more funding. But, you know, funding is always kind of our big barrier.
A couple of specific projects I've been involved in is salmon restoration and buffalo restoration back on the land. And the time is now, you know, we're in code red status. And so if we can get buffalo back on public lands, tribal lands, whatever lands it is, those are the great climate change fighters. And the same with salmon, you know, if it means taking down the lower Snake River dams or whatever it means, the time is now. We need to rely on the Indigenous peoples and their traditional ecological knowledge for that. And so our time is now.
So this is Swan Lake on your left here. I'm going to start my left turn to return. You can see where the confluence is as it goes into the lake there.
how do we continue restoring lands that were abused? How do we continue educating about these lands, and how do we move forward in partnership to preserve this incredibly wild and wonderful place? I genuinely believe that the future of conservation, and the only way that we can move forward, is together, and the future of conservation is with our Indigenous peoples. To move forward into the future, I know that we can't erase the past, but how can we continue to do better for the generations beyond us?
We look forward to all the partnerships, wherever they are, wherever the organizations and the people are. We look forward to those partnerships to help restore, our mother back to her original state.